Okay, this is good. Good evening. Sorry, I'm a touch on the late side. How you doing? Oh, I'm a little bit sore this morning and tired. I was watching a Netflix series that I just couldn't stop till 2 in the morning. So, you know, that old chestnut. I was watching The English Game. Story about, or some early stories about professional soccer in England in the late 1800s. It was very exciting. I know some awesome Scottish accents. How do you say no to that? So, give me 1 sec. I just want to get my other lights set up, and I hope it helps eliminate any dark spaces in the room. And then I think we're just about good to go. Lon, is Irene joining us today? I hope we get to see Irene and Ginny. That would be pretty special. Okay. We're going to start in just a couple more minutes as we wait for a few more people to show. There, it's probably a bit better now. Oh, there's the light. There's the holy halo, as we would say in Scotland. Everything's going to have a Scottish accent now, apparently, because of this series I was watching. Okay, where is it? I can see my mat, so that's good. No, Irene, no, Ginny, that's okay. You're here, that's what counts. Teresa, I love your bathroom renovation, by the way. It looks fantastic. A lot to be proud of. Okay. Oh, God bless Irene. All right, so Nauli and Kumbhaka. That's how we're starting today. I'm building on this core theme and this idea of using bandhas in a practice because it does make a substantial difference. So Kumbhaka is a stomach vacuum. That's essentially it. And it's meant to release the abdominal muscles and engage your core muscles. And you need those core muscles to have a more clear access on your bandhas, if that makes any sense at all. So that's that. Nauli is a complete isolation of the transverse abdominus, which takes time to find. So you might not get it this class. And there's no loss of karmic points. We're still friends. You know, please don't sweat that if it doesn't happen. Okay. So, without further ado, I actually have to take off my shirt to show you my stomach, which is, you know, so flattering. Middle-aged dad here, folks. Middle-aged dad, okay? Let's lose my chair and my shirt. It'll come back on in a second. So, dad belly. First, I'm going to exhale all the air out of my belly, and then I'm going to do a vacuum action, which is like faking an inhale. You fake an inhale so the stomach sucks in, and you hold it. And then eventually you're going to pump the stomach. But first, I'm just going to do the vacuum and hold. So it looks like this. Okay, that's step one. You're just sucking in the stomach and holding it in. And if you want to do that, go ahead. So I like to bring the hands on the knees and exhale all the air. Exhale everything, everything, everything. So go ahead and exhale it all out. Then bring the hands on your knees. Curl the tail in. Fake an inhale and hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Keep holding the belly in. Lift up your pelvic floor. Hold it. Keep breathing. Okay, and then release. Hey, Rita. Just in time to do the good old Kumbhaka here, which is not a character on Star Wars. Okay, let's do this again. This time, when I do it, I'm going to hold the belly in and do the stomach vacuum, and that's our starting point. And that's as far as you get, that's fine. Then I'm going to practice releasing the stomach and pulling it back in so that we're practicing isolation. That's the whole point, which is going to lead to Nauli. Nauli might not happen today, but that's okay. So it looks like this again. Okay, so you start again with your hands on the knees. Exhale all the air. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Straighten the arms, but keep your pelvic floor lifting. Fake the inhale, so you're vacuuming the stomach, and then release the front, pull it back in. Release, draw back in. Release, draw back in. Release, draw back in. And if you have to stop and breathe, stop and breathe. This is kind of taxing to do. Okay, we're going to start to do Nauli. So Nauli, again, it's the isolation of the transverse abdominis. I'm just going to start by popping out the transverse abdominis and pulling that back in. Popping it out and pulling back in so you can see what it looks like. That's step one. And then step two is being able to move the transverse abdominis. Pretty much you're trying to isolate it left, center, right, and move it in a cycle like that. So right now, I'm just going to isolate it so that you can see what it looks like. You might not find this today. Hey, Wanda. Yeah. I know it looks weird. Yes, I'm out of breath. Because holding in your stomach like that is a lot. So if you want, you can bring your fingers on either side of your belly, and you really want to squeeze in there and try to draw it out. At least you're creating the sensation of the muscles that need to work, even if you don't find it. So again, let's start with your hands on your knees. Exhale all of your air. Exhale, 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 exhale. Straighten your arms, lift your pelvic floor, suck the belly in, grab your fingers on either side of your belly button and try to pop that part out, pull it back in. Pop that part out, pull it back in. Keep lifting your pelvic floor as you try to do that. And if you don't get it, that's okay. Okay. I'm hoping you got that. That's why I'm doing this lovely little pause. It's not just to see, it's not just for the sake of a pause for me to rest. But it's kind of funny, like, who's this guy on the other end of the camera that's like doing this weird stomach shit? This weird stomach stuff. Yeah, it's me. Anyhow, okay, one last one. So I'm going to pop out now the transverse abdominis and just focus on going from one side to the middle to the other side. That's it, over and over, so that the transverse abdominis is moving around. It's moving around the organs. That's all. And it's all the same setup. Hands on the knees, exhale all the air, suck the belly in. Now pop out the transverse abdominis and then try to focus on shifting it from one side to the other. It looks like a little alien in your stomach. If you had some breakfast, you don't have to do this. I would probably not do it and then just visit the video later. Thanks for mentioning that, Rita. That's a good point. I'd like to get my shouts back on now. So you are going to get your hands on your knees, bend your knees, Exhale all the air. And then curl the tail. Fake the inhale. Try to pop out the center. If you can move it around, great. If not, just keep practice popping it in and out, which is hard even in and of itself. You're just isolating one muscle, and it's not a very well-used one. So, okay. Okay, we're going to get started with class now. We're just doing a 90-minute core flow thing, which is heavily based in Ashtanga. If anyone here is new or is a beginner, you don't have to do everything. I encourage you to take breaks. It's actually a smart thing to do, especially if it's a new activity. So I'll give you an example. I don't play basketball. If I were to start playing now, I'd probably start for about 5 minutes and then stop. And then maybe do 7 minutes the next day and 9 minutes the following day, so on and so forth. And so I'm building on something. So please don't feel like you have to do it. Even if you're experienced and you're just extra tired today for some reason, allow yourself some time to rest if you need it. Okay? It's not cheating. It's just taking a step in the right direction. Okay. I'm trying a new mat setup, and I hope it works better for people. If you can see me okay, yeah, my arms are probably going to get cut off, and that's okay. So coming to the front of your mat, if you're newer, keep your feet hip distance. If you're more experienced, bring your feet closer together. Push the feet into the floor, lift up your thighs, lift up your pelvic floor, draw the tail down, and breathe. So we're still doing that Bandha two-step. Hold the belly in, lift the pelvic floor, grow tall. Keep breathing. As your sternum lifts up, draw the shoulder blades down the back. If you want to find cactus, go ahead, draw the elbows forward. Keep the shoulder blades in place, just release the hands down. Keep breathing. And then allow the crown of the head to lengthen up to the ceiling so you draw the chin in. Then it minimizes the curve in your neck. And we'll begin. Inhale, bring your arms up, gaze up at your thumbs. Exhale and fold, relax your lower back, heavy rib cage. Inhale, lengthen your head up, hold the belly in. Exhale, push into your hands, step or jump back. You can hold plank or lower into Chaturanga, but keep your core engaged. Inhale, upward dog, strong legs, heavy hips, arms back, chest forward. Exhale, lift your rib cage up and back, holding downward dog for 5. And that's 1. Spread your fingers, spread the toes. Try to make the arms and legs a little longer, a little straighter. 2, lift your rib cage up and shift it back towards the hips, sending weight towards your heels. 3, push your heels down, lengthen your big toes forward, engaging your thighs more. Keep breathing. 4, and rotate the armpits in towards each other, bringing the shoulder blades away from your spine. 5, as you exhale, gaze forward. Inhale, bend the knees, step or hop forward, lengthen your head up. Exhale and fold, heavy rib cage, relax your lower back. Inhale, push into your feet, come all the way up, reach away from strong legs. Exhale, Samasthiti. Let's do that again. Inhale, arms up, reaching away from strong legs, pelvic floor lifting. Exhale as you fold, relax your lower back. Inhale, lengthen your bed up, hold in Bandha 1, Bandha 2. Exhale, push into your hands, step or jump back again. You can hold plank, maybe lower down into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, strong legs, heavy hips, arms back, chest forward. Exhale, lift your rib cage up, shift it back. There's a slight rounding in the front as you move into downward dog and hold. One. Again, straightening the arms and legs as much as you can. Hold the belly in. Bandha 1, Bandha 2. Keep the breath in your rib cage. 2. Reaching your heels down, lengthening your big toes forward. Lengthen your index fingers forward. 3. Still rotating your armpits in towards each other so the shoulder blades come away from the spine. 4. 5, as you exhale, gaze forward. Inhale, bend the knees, step or hop. Lengthen your head up, hold the belly in. Exhale and fold. Heavy rib cage, relax your lower back. Inhale, push into your feet, come all the way up. Reach away from strong legs. Exhale, Samasthiti. Once more, we'll do one variation. Inhale your arms up, gaze up. Exhale and fold, relax your lower back. Inhale, lengthen your head up, holding your belly in. Exhale, push into your hands, step or jump back, lower Chaturanga. Inhaling upward dog, full breath. Exhale, lead with your belly, downward dog. Turn the left foot into a 45-degree angle and lift your right leg up. Bend the right knee out to the side. So we're stretching the front of the right hip flexor. You can hold here or wrap around with your left hand to catch your right foot. Keep the gaze at your left foot and breathe. 1. Keep lengthening your arms so you're shifting weight back towards the back foot. 2. Gaze towards your left foot. Breathe. 3. If you're binding, kick the foot into the hand. Lead the foot up to the ceiling. 4. And 5. Exhale, release your right foot down, other side. Turn the right foot into a 45. It's okay if you step it forward a bit. Lift your left leg up, bend it out to the side. And then if you can, wrap around as an option to bind your left foot with the right hand and breathe. 1. Keep lengthening your hands to shift weight back towards your back foot. 2. Keep the gaze at your right foot to help you balance. Keep breathing. And 5. Exhale, release the foot down, bring your hands forward and lower to Chaturanga. Again, as an option, if you want, there's an optional Vinyasa. Inhaling upward dog, full breaths. Exhale, lift your rib cage up, shift it back, downward dog, and breathe. Inhales, control the exhales. I know it's hard. 2, try to keep the arms and legs nice and long, nice and straight. They don't have to be straight, you're just working that direction. 3. 4. And 5. As you exhale, gaze forward. Inhale, bend your knees, step or hop, lengthen, head up. Exhale, fold, heavy rib cage, relax your lower back. Inhale, push into your feet, come all the way up, reach away from strong legs. And exhale, Samasthiti, Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, bend your knees, weight back, tail forward, arms up, contain this front line. Exhale and fold, relax your lower back. Inhale, lengthen your head up, holding the belly in. Exhale, push into your hands, step or jump back. You can hold plank, maybe lower. Inhaling upward dog. Exhale, lead with your belly, downward dog. Turn the left foot into a 45-degree angle. Step your right foot forward, stay low. Inhale up, bend your front knee, square the hips. Reach your hands higher, tail lower. Exhale, bring the hands down. Step back, lower, Chaturanga. Slow inhales. It doesn't matter if you're off my count. Slow exhales, downward dog, other side. Turn right, step left. Stay low. Inhale up, bend your front knee, square your hips, reach your hands higher, tail lower. Exhale, bring the hands down, step back, lower, Chaturanga, strong legs. Inhaling, upward dog. Exhale, lead with your belly, downward dog. Hold here for 5. Totally fine to take a break if you need. 1. Slow down your inhales. Control the exhales. It's going to help you calm down your heart rate. 2. Reaching the arms and legs a little longer as you hold the belly in, slowing the breath in your rib cage. 3. Heels down, big toes forward, index fingers forward. Roll the armpits in. 4. Hold the belly into the spine, curl the tail to the chest, lifting your pelvic floor. And 5. Exhale, gaze forward. Inhale, bend the knees, step or hop, lengthen your head up. Exhale and fold, relax your lower back. Inhale, bend your knees, tail forward, arms up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Once more. Inhale your arms up. Exhale and fold, relax your lower back. Inhale, lengthen your head up. Exhale, step or jump back and lower. You can hold plank, try to control your front as you lower. Inhaling, upward dog. Exhale, lead with your belly, downward dog. Same thing. Turn left, step right, stay low. Hinge from your pelvis as you reach your arms up. Bring the tail down more. Exhale, hands down. Step back lower. Slow inhales. And slow exhales. Turn right, step left. Stay low. Inhaling up, hinging from your pelvis. Reach your hands higher, tail lower. Exhale, bring the hands down. Step back, lower Chaturanga. Inhaling up, bird dog. It doesn't matter if you're off my count. Exhaling, downward dog. It matters that you take full breaths. Breathe. 1. Again, slow the inhale. Control the exhale. The focus is on your breath the whole time. 2. Long arms, long legs, long spine, long breath. 3. You can always put in less effort and more breath. That's the best place to make your errors on. 4. 5. As you exhale, gaze forward. Inhale, bend your knees, step or hop forward, lengthen your head up. Exhale and fold, heavy rib cage, relax your lower back. Inhale, bend your knees, tail forward, contain your front line as you bring your arms up. Exhale, Samasthiti, Padangusthasana, separate your feet hip distance. Inhale, catch your big toes, lengthen your head up. Exhale and fold, relax your lower back. Totally fine to bend your knees. Maybe work them straight, hold there. 1, lean your hips forward, press the feet down, try to work your legs longer, straighter, so the thighs are working up. 2, as your thighs and belly button lift up pelvic floor, let the rib cage be heavy. 3, bending your elbows, bring the shoulders away from the ears. 4, try to pull the toes off a little. 5, inhale, lengthen your head up. We're actually going to add a twist here. Exhale, with your right hand, grab onto the left ankle. Left hand can just come on your hip. You're still forward bending, you're just twisting. Hold here. 1, so with the right hand, pull on the left ankle to draw yourself down and twist. 2, try to make the legs straighter, lift your belly up and lengthen your right ribs along your thighs. 3, gaze up towards the ceiling over your left shoulder. 4, 5, inhale, coming into center, 1 breath. Exhale, left hand on the right ankle, right hand on the hip. Twist your chest up, gaze to the ceiling and breathe. 1, so again, weight forward, into your feet, work your legs straighter. 2, with your right hand, pull the left ankle to twist up towards the ceiling, gaze up to the ceiling. 3, your left rib cage is lengthening along your legs as you keep your gaze up. 4, 5, inhale, lengthen your head up halfway. And exhale, slowly work your way back up into standing. Samasthiti, Trikonasana. Inhale, I'm just going to step my left foot back, but if you want to step your right foot back, that's fine. So right foot is pointing forward, curl left toes inwards, inhale your arms up. Exhale, shift your hips towards the left as you reach towards the right. And then bring your right hand down the shin, the ankle, maybe the foot. You can keep the left hand on your hip or reach your left hand up to the ceiling. Gaze towards your top hand and breathe. 1, so you still favor the inner edge of the front foot. Maybe work your leg longer. It's okay if it's bent. You just work it straight. 2, keep a strong back leg. Hold your belly in, lift your pelvic floor. Now lengthen away from that back leg. 3, push your top hand forward like you're pushing into an imaginary wall. Now twist your chest up towards it. Bring your chest back and hips forward. 4, 5, exhale, look down. Inhale, come up. We're just going to pivot to the other side. Exhale, shift your hips towards the right. Reach your left hand towards the left, bringing the hand down on the shin, the ankle, or your foot. The hand can stay on the hip or reach up to the ceiling. Keep your gaze up. Sound your breath. 1, so you still favor the inner edge of your front foot, working the front leg longer. Maybe lift your big toe. It makes it interesting. 2, strengthen the back leg. Belly in, lift the pelvic floor. Now lengthen. 3, push your top hand forward, twist your chest up towards the top hand if you can. 4, 5, exhale, look down. Inhale, come up, turn the feet towards the front of the mat, right hand on the hip, left hand up, exhale. Pull your right hip back and reach your left hand forward. The hand can come down the inside edge of the foot, maybe on top or outside edge. The front leg can stay bent. You work it straight. Maybe reach your right hand up and breathe. 1. So you still favor the inner edge of your front foot, working the front leg longer. 2. Draw your right hip back and the left hip forward so the hips are squaring to the front of the mat. 3. Lift your pelvic floor. Now lengthen away from your hips. Keep your gaze up. 4. 5. Exhale, look down. Inhale up. Turn the feet towards the edge. Maybe you twist up to the ceiling. Maybe you reach your left hand up. And the shoulder's giving me grief again. And that's 1. So you still favor the inner edge of your front foot, working your front leg longer again. 2. Left hip back, right hip forward. Lift your pelvic floor. Now lengthen away from the hips. 3. If you can, push your top hand forward. Twist your chest up. 4. And 5. Exhale, look down. Inhale, coming all the way up. We'll just take a wider stance. Really curl your left toes inwards. Right toes pointed forward. Exhale, bend your right knee. So now watch, when I'm bending my right knee, I want to keep my torso straight. Then start to bring the right elbow on the knee, left arm up. Maybe your right hand comes down. Side angle pose. Hold here. 1. Curl your back toes inwards, strengthening your back leg. Open up the knees towards the wall behind you. 2. The pinky side of your left hand is chopping down. As you chop down, the knee here to help you. The hand can come on the hip or on top of the knee. If you can, start to push the knee away. Lengthen your chest towards the front of the mat. Hold there. Maybe gaze up. 1. Flex both feet. 2. Draw your right hip back. Pull the left hip underneath towards your right knee. Gaze up. 3. Try to straighten your right arm as you reach your chest towards the front of the mat. 4. And 5. So you can stay here for 5 more breaths. Maybe step your right foot back. We'll do this so you can see me. Or I can see you. And you can just stay here in a plank. Maybe lift up your right foot. You can keep your foot there. Maybe catch your toe. Hold there. It doesn't matter. 1. Flex both feet. 2. Strong bottom leg, hips higher. 3. Maybe chest back, hips forward. 4. And 5. Exhale, bring your right foot down. Inhale up, pivot the feet to the back of the mat. And exhale, bend your left knee. And again, try to keep your torso straight. Left elbow on the knee, right arm above the right ear. Maybe left hand down. You do what you can and breathe. I need 2 cameras. That's 1. Curling your back toes inwards, strengthening the back leg, opening up the knees towards the wall behind you. 2. Again, the pinky side of your right hand chops down. Now you twist your chest up. 3. Resist the arm against the leg here at the bottom and use that strength to twist up more. Take a deep inhale. 4. 5. Exhale, bring your right hand down. Pivot on the outer edge of the front foot, outer edge of the back foot. Left hand on the hip, and you start to straighten your left arm. Hold there. 1. Flex both feet so you're protecting the ankles. That's the point of the flexion. 2. Draw your left hip back. The right hip curls underneath towards your left knee. 3. Try to straighten your left arm, reaching the chest towards the front of the mat. 4. And 5. Bring your left hand down. If you want, you could even stay here for 5 more breaths. Or bring your left foot back. You can stack one foot in front of the other, on top of the other. Left hand at the side or up. Do what works. Breathe. 1. One side's always different, and that's okay. 2. Flex both feet, strong bottom leg. 3. Hips higher, gaze up. Chest back, hips forward. 4. Lifting your pelvic floor the whole time. I know it's hard. 5. Exhale, look down. Bring your left hand down, left foot down. Inhale, come up. Pivot the feet towards the front of the mat again. And exhale, come down to your left knee. Twisting. Exhale, left elbow across the right knee. Now, draw in your core. Lift your pelvic floor belly, and it's going to help you twist deeper. Now, if you can, slide your armpit down towards the knee. And you can stay here in prayer. Maybe straighten your back leg. Maybe bring your left hand down. Maybe right arm above the right ear. Doesn't matter. 1. Left shoulder blade down the back in either version. 2. Try to draw your right hip back and left hip forward. 3. Breathe. 4. 5. Exhale, look down. Inhale, come up. Turn the feet towards the front of the mat. And exhale, come down to your right knee. Right elbow across the left knee. And again, draw in the core. Belly in, lift your pelvic floor, and notice how you get more twist. From there, slide your armpit down towards the knee. Engage the core again. It's okay if you do it a couple times. Hands can stay in prayer. Maybe right hand down, maybe straighten your back leg, maybe heel down, maybe left arm above the left ear. 1, right shoulder blade down your back. 2, lifting your pelvic floor, lengthen your rib cage forward. 3, 4, and 5. And now coming back up, and then we'll just narrow our stance a bit. Curl your big toes inwards, hands in the hips. Inhale your chest up. Exhale and fold, hands down between your feet, shoulder distance. Inhale, lengthen your head up, hold the belly in, and then exhale, fold, crown the head towards the floor. You want the rib cage to be heavy. I like to bring my hands to the ribs and let the arms weight the ribs down. Notice the difference. Then release the hands down, hold there. 1, lean your hips forward. Press the feet down, work your leg longer. 2, there's still that string in the belly button lifting up as your rib cage is heavy, working your head towards the floor. It shouldn't touch down though. 3, walk your hands back so the heels of the palms can line up with the heels of the feet. Squeeze your elbows in, bend your elbows more. 4, 5, inhale, lengthen your head up, walk your hands forward about a foot. And exhale, bring the hands or the feet out to the side into a wide-legged split. And you just go as wide as you can. You don't have to go all the way to the floor like, some freaks of nature can do. I would recommend flexing your feet. Maybe come down to the elbows. If you can, come down to the chest. I don't hate you. I'm spiritually advanced. Hold here and breathe. And that's 1. Flex your feet so you're exposing the soles of the feet to either wall. You're protecting your ankles when you do that. 2, shift your hips back. Lift your pelvic floor. Now lengthen your rib cage forward. Gaze up. 3, shoulder blades down the back. Keep holding your hips back, belly back. 4. And 5. Okay, inhale, bring our legs back up into their original position. And exhale, you can just interlace the fingers behind the back or take the hands in your lower back and hold there. Maybe your hands are allowed to drop down. It depends what's happening with your shoulders. Respect the limits of the shoulders and breathe. And that's 1. If you want, you can even roll out the shoulders. Roll them forward. It's a good time. 2, lean your hips forward. Press your feet down. Make your legs straighter again. 3, allow the shoulders to relax down. It's going to help you bring the hands down. 4. And 5. Slowly inhale. Work your way all the way back up. And exhale back to the front of your mat. Samasthiti. Breathe. Exhale, release. Utthita Hasta Parangushtasana. Left hand on the hip. Lift your pelvic floor. Find that core. Step 1, step 2, just like we did last class. You can stay here. Maybe bring up your right knee or the big toe, or you lift your leg straight up. Maybe you can exhale and fold. Lift up your leg. Hold there. 1, if your knee is bent, lead the heel forward. 2, if the leg is straight, point the foot, tighten the grip, and bend your elbow. 3, try to drop your right hip. It's going to help you bring the foot higher. 4, 5, inhale your head up. Exhale the leg or the knee out to the side. Keep this pelvic engagement the whole time. 1, belly in, lift up your pelvic floor and stay tall. Either version. 2, totally fine to bend your knee. If the leg is straight, bend your elbow. 3, maybe roll the heel forward. Whoops. 4. And 5, inhale your leg back into center. Exhale, we're just going to fold chin to the shin. Inhale, release. Hands on your hips, hold there. 1, point the foot but flex the big toe. 2, pull the right leg into the hip socket against the strength of your left leg. 3, lifting your pelvic floor, belly in and growing away from the hips. 4, 5, exhale, kick the leg back, catch it with your right hand. Left hand can stand the hip or up. Exhale, maybe you fold. It's up to you. 1, balance first, don't go deep. 2, just think of softening the front of the right hip flexor. That's the point. 3, maybe you gently kick the foot into the hand and lead the foot up to the ceiling. 4. And 5, inhale, coming all the way back up and exhale, release. Other side, right hand on the hip. Inhaling, left knee up or big toe or leg straight. Exhale if you can, bend your elbow and fold, hold. That's 1. What the hell is this music? Keep breathing. 2. Lift your pelvic floor. 3. If you can, bend the elbow, bring your left shoulder back and right shoulder forward. 4. Maybe drop your left hip to bring the foot higher. 5. Inhale your head up. Exhale the leg or the knee out to the side. Keep all the weight in that right foot. Hold there. 1. Drawing weight down into that right foot over and over. 2. Lift your pelvic floor. Keep the core engaged. Weight into the right foot. 3. If your leg is straight, bend the elbow and roll your heel forward. 4. And 5. Inhale, leg in the center, 1 breath. And exhale, full chin to your shin. Inhale, release the foot. Hands on your hips and hold. 1. Point the left foot, but flex the big toe. 2. Draw the leg into the hip socket against the strength of the right leg. Right foot pushing down. 3. Lift your pelvic floor. Rib cage lifts away from your pelvis. 4. And 5. Exhale, kick your leg back. Catch it with your right hand or your left hand, right hand up. Exhale, maybe you fold. Otherwise, just stay here. It doesn't matter. 1. Don't go deeper. Breathe deeper. 2. So think of softening the front of your left hip flexor. That's the main point. 3. If you can, kick the foot into the hand. Lead the foot higher to the ceiling. 4. And 5. Inhale, coming all the way back up. And exhale, release. Shake it out. If the belly and you wrap around, bind and fold. Otherwise, you're going to modify with me. Inhale your right foot above the left knee. Exhale, bend your standing legs. Maybe bring the elbows in the shin. Maybe hands down to the floor. Totally fine to use blocks or books. You just do what you can and breathe. 1. Find your tension point, breathe. If you can, flex your right foot in either version. 2. If you're modifying with me, press your rib cage flat to the thighs. Belly back, chest forward, gaze up. 3. If you're taking a full lotus bind, flex the foot into the belly and keep the rib cage over the heel. 4. Maybe drop your right shoulder down to the right knee. And 5. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Exhale, stay there, do nothing. Then inhale, slowly work your way back up. Other side. So inhale, left foot. If you can take it to a half lotus, go ahead. Otherwise, modifying with me. Left foot above your right knee. Hands or elbows in the shin. Maybe hands on blocks or books. Maybe hands come to the floor. Hold here. That's 1. Flex your left foot against the right arm. Keep your gaze up if you're modifying with me. That's 2. Belly back, chest forward. Press your rib cage down. It's okay if you have less effort and more breath. 3. If you're taking a full lotus bind, flex the foot into your belly. Keep the rib cage over your heel. 4. And drop your left shoulder down to the left knee. 5. Inhale, lengthen. Straighten your standing leg. Exhale, stay there, do nothing. And next inhale, slowly work your way back up. Exhale, release, Samasthiti. Come back to the front of your mat. We'll do Surya Namaskara into our warrior. Strong legs. Inhale your arms up. Exhale and fold. Hands down beside the feet. Inhale. Lengthen your head up. Hold the belly in. Exhale, push into your hands. Step or jump back. You can hold plank or lower to Chaturanga. Inhaling upward dog. Full breath. Exhale, lead with your belly, downward dog. Turn left, step right. Stay low. Hinge from your pelvis, so you're not bending your back. You're hinging from the pelvis. Bend your front knee more, then reach your arms up and breathe. 1, strong back leg. Bend your front knee more. Right hip back, left hip forward. 2, lift your pelvic floor, hold the belly in, bend the front knee more. You get a deeper stretch in the hip flexor here. 3, chop your arms forward. As you do that, the rib cage draws back and tail pulls forward so your core stays engaged. 4. And 5, straighten your right leg. Turn the feet towards the back of the mat. Exhale, bend your left knee. Find square. Hold there and breathe. 1, so strengthen your back leg. Bend your front knee more. Left hip back, right hip forward. 2, hold the belly in. Lift your pelvic floor. Now grow tall away from your hips. 3, chop your arms forward. So as you do that chopping action, rib cage pulls back and tail pulls forward. Bend the front knee again. 4. 5, inhale, open up your palms. Warrior 2 position, hold here. 1, really curl your back toes inwards. Now open up the knees to the wall behind you. So we're stretching the front of the pelvis here. 2, don't let the weight fall towards your bent leg. Pull the weight back towards your back leg. 3, belly in, lift your pelvic floor, grow tall, away from strong legs. 4. And 5, straighten your left leg, turn the feet towards the front of the mat again. And exhale, bend your right knee. Again, watch what your torso is doing. Don't let it fall forward. Keep the weight back. Hold there. 1, opening up the knees towards the wall behind you. 2, belly in, lift your pelvic floor. Now go tall away from that. So this is pulling in completely. 3, if you want to find your shoulder blades, turn the palms up. Keep the shoulder blades in place. Now bring your palms back down. 4, and 5, exhale, bring the hands down. Step your right foot back. Lower Chaturanga if you can. Inhaling upward dog, full breath. Exhale, lead with your belly, downward dog. We're going to come into a pigeon lunge. Inhale, bring your right knee towards the right hand in the pigeon lunge. And it's totally fine if your foot is close to your torso. You can move it further forward. But focus on keeping your right hip down and flexing your right foot. It doesn't matter how far forward that foot is. It doesn't mean you're more advanced. Your back leg can stay bent as you fold forward. Maybe you can come onto the top of your back foot. Maybe you pull the back toes under and lift your back leg up. Hold there. 1, flex your right foot, so you're protecting your ankle. 2, you can use your left hand to turn the left leg in towards your right thigh. Keep your right hip down. 3, encourage your left rib cage in towards your right thigh. Breathe. 4, and 5. Inhale, work your way up. We're going to swing the left leg around. So bring your left foot on top of the right knee into a box pose. And if your knee is high up, you find it's tight, keep the hands behind you. Shift your chest forward. Or you hug the right arm around your left leg and push your chest down. Stop at your tension point. Or you come all the way down. Hold here. And that's 1. Flexing both feet so you're protecting the ankles. 2, and if your knees are down, try to press your rib cage down, but you're still lifting your pelvic floor and lengthening your chest forward. 3, draw your hands back. I'm seeing all kinds of dust bunnies. That's what I hate about practicing at home. I don't know if you get that. 4, and 5. Inhale, work your way back up, and we'll switch sides. Bring your left foot in front of you and swing the left leg around here. I'm just going to turn around so you can see me better this way. Totally fine to keep that back leg bent. Totally fine to keep your left foot forward. Just flex your ankle. And then we'll start to come forward into a forward bend. Maybe come onto the top of your back foot. Maybe curl your back toes under. This side's a bit trickier for me because my right toe is pretty arthritic. Oh, that's not bad. Hold here. 1, flex your left foot, but keep that left hip down. Most important part. 2, you can use your right hand to encourage the right leg towards your left knee. 3, and encourage your right rib cage towards your left leg. Keep breathing. 4, and 5. Inhale, work your way back up, and we'll swing the right leg around on top of your left knee. Totally fine if that knee is lifting, and you keep your hands behind you. Shift your chest forward, or wrap the arm around the front of the shin. Work your chest down. It's okay if your leg stays up. If it does come down, no one's hating anybody. This is a class for the spiritually advanced. You can stay here or here. Breathe. 1, flex both feet. You have to protect the ankles. If you overstretch them, then you prepare them for a strain later on. 2, still lifting your pelvic floor, holding the belly in. Now lengthen the rib cage away from your hips. Side eversion. 3, shoulder blades down the back as if you were doing cactus, but just hold the position of your arms. 4, and 5. Inhale, work your way back up and release the pose. You can take a break there or Vinyasa. Inhale, pick up. Exhale, step or jump back and lower Chaturanga. Slow inhales every time you take upward dog. Slow exhale, downward dog. Gaze forward, bend the knees, coming forward to a seated position. And we're going to bring the legs straight into Dandasana. So this is pretty much standing only at a 90-degree angle. That's it. Legs are straight, hands beside the hips, fingertips pointing forward. And we're going to go tall. Breathe, keep your legs active. 1, the thighs draw into the hip sockets. You go tall, away from the energy of the legs. 2, belly in, lifting your pelvic floor, rib cage lengthening away from your hips. 3, push the hands to the floor, shoulder blades down the back and forward into the chest. 4, 5, inhale, lengthen your arms up, and exhale, lengthen forward, don't drop, lengthen as you come down, and then grab your feet and fold. Totally fine to bend your knees, totally fine, hold there. 1. So if you're bending your knees, try to keep the rib cage flat to your thighs and lengthen. 2. Maybe you inch your heels forward, and it's okay if your legs are still bent. 3. Either version, bend the elbows, shoulders back, chest forward. Keep finding length with your rib cage away from your hips. 4. And 5. Inhale. Come up and exhale. Release the pose. Take the hands behind you 6 inches. Purvottanasana. Roll your shoulders forward. Lift your chest up. Push your heels down. Inhale. Lift your hips up and drop the head back. Hold there. 1. Shift more weight to the feet. It's fine to bend your knees. 2. Hold the belly in. Lift your pelvic floor. 3. Roll your shoulders forward. Chest up. Keep breathing. More weight to your feet. 4. And hips higher. 5. And lowering down. Well done. You can take a break here or vinyasa. Inhale, pick up. Exhale, step or jump back and lower. Full inhales, whether you're moving or sitting, it doesn't matter. Full exhales, whether you're moving or sitting. Gaze forward, bend the knees, coming forward to a seated position. Keep your left leg straight, lift up your right leg, and we're just going to move the leg around in the hip socket so your tendons are starting to relax a little bit. Okay, and it takes me about 10 seconds before, 8 to 10 seconds before I start to feel them loosen up. So you can stay here, hands underneath the shin or around the foot. Roll the right hip forward towards your left foot, grow tall, breathe. 1, strengthen your straight leg. Now grow tall against the energy of that leg. This is still Dandasana with one leg. 2, flex your right foot, bring the heel higher and the shin closer to your chest. 3, keep encouraging the right hip towards your left foot so the pelvic bone is moving away from the sacrum. 4. And 5. Okay, you can stay here for another 5 breaths or bring the leg behind your shoulder and bring your right hand down. That's a pose. You can hold here. Maybe catch the outer edge of the foot. Maybe start to work the leg this straight and look underneath your left armpit. My shoulder won't let me do it today. Hold here. 1, squeeze the knees in towards each other. 2, right shoulder blade down the back. 3, draw your right hip down as you lengthen your right foot up. 4. And 5. Okay, allow your right foot to chop down on your shoulder. Maybe do the fancy vinyasa or you switch sides. So inhale from here. Hips back, chest forward, lift up your left foot. Exhale, bend your left leg back. Straighten your right leg forward. Keep your arms super straight or your legs super straight. Then swing around. Go ahead, upward dog and downward dog. Otherwise, you're still breathing. Exhale, gaze forward, coming into a seated position. Right leg straight, left leg back. And again, we're just going to pay the same respect to the left side as we do to the right. Allow that leg to loosen the tendons around the hip. And you can stay here, or hands underneath the shin or around the front. Roll your left hip forward towards the right foot. Grow tall. Breathe. 1, strong right leg. Grow tall against the energy of that leg. 2, flex your left foot, heel higher, shin closer to your chest. 3, rolling your left hip forward towards your right foot. 4, imagine this leg behind your head. And 5, okay, and release. Maybe you can stay here for 5 or pull the knee behind your shoulder. Left hand down. Right hand catches the outside of the foot. This is a pose. Don't kid yourself. You can stay right here. Maybe work the legs straight. Eventually, you're going to gaze underneath your right armpit and grow tall. 1, strong right leg and grow tall. Lift your pelvic floor. 2, try to extend your left foot up and left hip down. 3, left shoulder blade resists back against your leg to pull your chest forward. 4. And 5. Okay, from here, pinch your left knee down on the left shoulder. Hands beside you. Inhale, lift up. Hips back, chest forward. Maybe lift up your right foot. You can vinyasa from there or just take a break. Extend your legs nice and straight as you do the fancy version and then swing back and lower Chaturanga. Slow inhales every time. Doesn't matter if you're off my count. Slow exhales every time. We're going to come onto our shins for Virasana. Inhale. Coming forward onto your shins. You can totally sit on your heels if that works for you. Ideally, you want to sit between the heels, but if that hurts, don't do it. You can sit on a couple of books. I've done that before when I was dealing with knee pain. Otherwise, I like to remove the calves from underneath. And you can stay here. Maybe bring the hands onto your knees. Grow tall and breathe. 1, so push your feet down and pull the tail forward. Lift your pelvic floor and grow tall. So we still have that nice bandha shape. 2, resist the hands back against the knees and lift your chest up. Use the arm strength to help you grow tall. 3, feet down, belly in, tail forward, arms back, stay tall. 4. And 5, if you want, you can stay here or bring the hands behind you to do a little counter and inhale your hips up. So we straighten out or stretch out the front of the body. Maybe come down into the elbows, grab your heels, hips up and head back, hold. 1, lengthening your knees forward and down. 2, as your knees press down, feet press down, tail lifts up. 3, shoulders forward, chest up. Keep breathing, lifting your pelvic floor. 4. And 5, lowering your hips down. Slowly work your way back up. We'll take a comfortable child's pose. Just to counter. Stay there for a couple of breaths. Draw the tail down towards your heels. It's going to help you stretch out your lower back. It feels nice. And breathe deeply in the backside of the rib cage. So when you're rounding like this, the backside of the body is opening. Take advantage of it. Okay, work your way back up. And if you want, you can step your hands forward, step your feet back and lower to Chaturanga. Slow inhales, whether you're moving or sitting, doesn't matter. Slow exhales. I'm still your friend no matter what you're doing. Gaze forward, bend the knees, coming forward into a seated position. Baddha Konasana. So here. If your knees are high up, that's normal. You can bring the hands behind you and try to shift your pelvis and your chest forward. You'll already get a deeper stretch. And think of lengthening the knees out to the side. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. If your knees do come down, squeeze the outer edges of your feet together as the knees lengthen out. Maybe you can bring your elbows onto the thighs. Maybe lengthen your chin and chest forward. Find your tension point. Breathe deeper. Hold there. 1, lengthening your knees out to the side. 2, lift your pelvic floor, belly in. Now use your core strength to lengthen your rib cage forward. 3, you don't have to go deeper now. You have to breathe deeper. 4. And 5, inhale, work your way back up. Make 2 fists, put them behind your heels. Push your heels forward and around your back. Maybe you slide the hands underneath your feet. Lift your feet up. Let the knees lengthen out. Drop your head down to the feet. Hold. 1, knees lengthening out to the side. 2, tuck the tail to the head. Try to bite the tail with the head. 3, still lifting your pelvic floor. It's a deep rounding. 4. And 5. Okay, inhale, work your way back up. Use your hands to help you lift the knees and straighten the legs out into 90 degrees, Upavishta Konasana. And again, if your hamstrings are tight, stay with the hands behind you. Grow as tall as you can. Hinge your chest and your pelvis forward. There's plenty of stretch there. Maybe you catch onto your shins. Maybe you catch on your feet. It's like we did before when we did our forward bend. Think of lengthening forward. Don't drop, lengthen forward. Lengthen forward, stop at your tension point and breathe. 1, strong legs pressing down, hips are rooted, lift your pelvic floor. 2, so it's step 1, step 2, belly in, lift your pelvic floor, now lengthen your rib cage forward. 3, try not to hunch your shoulders, draw the shoulders away from the ears as you lengthen your sternum forward. 4. And 5, inhale, work your way back up. Exhale, we're going to drop our our right arm inside the right leg. And you want to squeeze the right leg against the right arm so they're working together. And the intention here is to twist your chest up. Now you can kind of see my spine is doing a bit of an arch. So I want to shorten on this side, contract my top side, and lengthen on the underside so that my spine straightens. Now I can twist deeper. If you want, you can lift your left arm above the ear. I like to bring the hand behind the head. Resist the 1, strong legs, resist the right arm against the knees, you twist your chest up. 2, lengthen on your right side, shorten on the left. It'll help you twist deeper. Gaze up. 3, push your head back into the hand to help you twist up. 4. And 5. Inhale, work your way up. Exhale, drop your left arm inside your left leg. And again, notice that there's a bit of rounding here, and that's totally normal. We're going to upside and lengthen on this left side. So now it's easier for my spine to twist. Resist the arm against the leg. Right arm can come above the right ear. Maybe hand behind the head. If you're uber flexible, go ahead and catch the foot. I wouldn't hate you. There's no loss of karmic points. And breathe. 1, so strong legs. Really root that right leg down. 2, Lengthening on your left side, shortening on the right to twist deeper. Gaze up to the ceiling. Twist your chest to the ceiling more. 3, push your head back into the hand so that you're using the muscles along your thoracic vertebrae to help you twist. 4, keep resisting your left arm against the left leg. And 5, and release. Inhale, work your way back up. Exhale, stay there, do nothing. Next inhale, lean the weight back. Lift your arms up, lift your legs up, catch your feet. Totally fine to bend your knees. Breathe. 1, so if you're here with bent knees, it's fine. Maybe work your legs a bit straighter. 2, if your legs are straight, point your feet, drop your head back. 3, find your bandhas again. Step 1, step 2, lifting your pelvic floor, lengthen the rib cage away from the hips. 4, and 5. Okay, and cross your shins. And you can take a break there or vinyasa. Inhale, pick up. Exhale, step or jump back and lower. We're going to squat after this. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, lead with your belly, downward dog. And then jump the feet outside the hands. If you're sitting down, bring your feet about mat width apart and come into a squat. So if a squat is not available to you, totally fine to sit on a couple of books. And it's the idea of drawing the hips down towards the heels that you want to find. You take the hands in prayer, curl your big toes inwards, hold here. 1, squeeze the knees on the shoulders, resist the shoulders back against your knees. 2, draw your tail forward, lift your pelvic floor, grow tall. Find step 1 and 2 again. 3, I like to bring my thumbs to the sternum, then lift the sternum into the thumbs. It's a self-adjustment. 4, and 5. We're going to bring our right hand down, left hand outside your left leg, straighten your left leg. So Mary Chestnut. Lengthen your chest forward. See if you can wrap the arm in front of the shin like that. Hold there. If you want to bind, go ahead. You do what you can and breathe. 1, keep the work about this right leg, drawing your right hip down to the foot. That's the whole intention. 2, and as you ground that right hip, use your core strength to lengthen away from that right hip towards your left foot. 3, right shoulder back, left shoulder forward. Core is lengthening the rib cage forward. 4, and 5. Inhale, work your way back up. And if you want, you can just switch sides or vinyasa. Inhale, pick up. If you are taking a break, come back into the squat. Exhale, jump back and lower chaturanga. Slow inhales every time you're taking upward dog. And slow exhales every time you're taking downward dog. It doesn't matter if you're off my count. Gaze forward, bend the knees, coming forward. Left leg straight, right leg back. If you're in squat, left hand down, right hand to the side. Straighten your right leg. You want to make sure you have some room to fold forward. Reach your left hand forward, lengthen, then resist the left arm back. Hold here. Hold this shoulder. 1, keep dropping your left hip towards the heel as much as you can. 2, and as you root through that left hip, lengthen your rib cage away from your left hip, lifting your pelvic floor. 3, left shoulder back, right shoulder forward, square into the front. Keep breathing. 4, and 5. Inhale, work your way back up. Next exhale, release. You can take a break there or vinyasa. Inhale, pick up. Exhale, step or jump back and lower. Full inhales every time. Full exhales every time. Your right knee. So you don't want your right foot out there. You really have to draw that right foot in. This is the Mary Chestnut position. Getting the foot in towards the heel and the heel towards the foot as much as possible. So this gap here is closed. You hug the arm around the shin, maybe bring the elbow across the knee. And again, this is just like we did before. It's normal for there to be a bit of a rounding of the spine. So lift your pelvic floor. Notice how you grow taller. And then your rib cage is coming closer to your knee. Slide the rib cage closer towards your knee. Hold here. If you can bind, go ahead. That's 1. Push into your hips, grow tall. Broaden your collarbones. 2, drop that right hip down. Lift your pelvic floor, grow tall away from that right hip. 3, left shoulder blade down the back, gaze towards the right. So it's a total spinal twist. 4, and 5. Okay, release. And you can switch sides again or vinyasa. Inhale, pick up. Exhale, step or jump back and lower. Full inhales every time. Full exhales every time. Gaze forward, bend the knees coming forward. Right leg straight, left leg back. And try to keep that left foot as close as you can towards your left hip. Hug the right arm around your left leg, that's a pose, or bring the elbow across the knee. And if you notice you're rounding, it's normal. You're human. Lift your pelvic floor, engage your core, pull everything in. And notice how you come deeper into the pose. Slide the armpit closer towards your knee as much as you can. So right now there's a bit of a gap. You want to close that gap as much as possible. Hold here. If you can wrap around and bind, go ahead. There's no loss of karmic points for staying here, though. Breathe. 1, push into your hips, grow tall, broaden your collarbones, widen. 2, drop your left hip down, lengthen your sternum up. 3, right shoulder blade down the back as you gaze towards your left. 4, breathe, or none of this works. And 5, and release the pose. And you can take a break there, or vinyasa. Inhale, pick up. Exhale, step or jump back and lower. Full inhales every time. And full exhales every time. We're going to try Bhuja Pidasana, the arm squeeze pose. Haha. So this gets interesting. Jump the feet outside the hands. So you're back into a squat. So you're jumping like this. Okay. We're going to shrug the shoulders behind the knees. I'm just going to come this way. Maybe you can see me better. Lift your right heel up. Bring the shoulder behind your knee. Drop the heel down and curl the toe in. Other side. Lift your left heel up. Drop your shoulder underneath. Heel down. Curl your toe in. Bring the hands behind your hips. Squeeze your elbows you're in and lean your weight back. And that's a pose. Maybe you lift your feet and cross them. Eventually you're going to bring your feet back and your chin to the floor. Hold there and breathe. Stop at your tension point. 1, it's okay if your feet curl. And 5, slowly work your way back up. If you want, you can readjust your shoulders behind the knees. Drop the hips down. We'll take Titibhasana for 1 breath. Hips down. Lower the hips as much as you can. Now work your legs straight. And then if you can, swing around into Bakasana for 1 breath and jump back and lower Chaturanga. Otherwise, take a break. Inhaling, upward dog. Exhale, lead with your belly, downward dog. Gaze forward, bend the knees, coming forward to a seated position. Navasana. What are we going to do today? Let's do 3 Navasanas and 2 sunken Navasanas, 2 sunken boats. Okay, knees by the chest. Grow tall, maybe release your hands. 1, keep the knees to your chest, maybe work your legs straighter. 2, chest up, shoulder blades down your back. 3, chop your arms down, lift your chest up, breathe. 4, don't come down now. 5, we're going to lower down. Feet and head should be about 1 foot above the floor. 1, shoulders back, chest up. 2, chop your arms down, lift your chest up. 3, if you want to make it interesting, bring the hands behind the head and separate the feet. 4, and 5, inhale back up for 5. 1, chop your arms down, chest up. 2, the legs draw into the hip sockets, arms into the shoulder sockets. 3, 4, and 5, lowering down again for sunken boat. And that's 1. Chop your arms down, lift your chest up. 2, maybe separate your feet. That makes it interesting right there. 3, maybe bring the arms to the side or back. 4, and 5, swing around. What? I cheated. Hold there. I'll use my hands. That's 1. Chest up, shoulders back. It's okay if you did 2. 2, grow tall away from your hips. 3, deepen your inhale. 4, and 5, cross your shins. Well done. You can take a break there. That was intense. Or vinyasa. Actually, no, we're all going to take a vinyasa. We're all going to hold upward dog for 5 breaths. So step your hands forward, step your feet back, and lower down. Totally fine to hold plank or lower. Inhaling upward dog, and we're holding here. 1, so push your feet down. Strong legs, lifting your knees up. 2, engage that core. Lift your pelvic floor. Let the hips be heavy now. 3, don't let your shoulders roll forward. Draw the shoulders back. Resist your arms back and pull your ribcage forward. 4, strong legs, heavy hips, arms back, chest forward. 5, okay, bring your knees down. Curl the back toes under as you shift weight back. And then gently move into downward dog. Hold here for a couple breaths. Okay, coming forward into a seated position. Lying down your backs, preparing for back bends. I'll describe bridge pose first. If you can take Urdhva Dhanurasana and you have the energy, please go for it. Lie down on our backs, bend the knees, bring the heels by the hips. I like to grab the ankles personally. That's a personal choice. You don't have to. You don't lose karmic points. If you want, you can just lift the hips up and release the fingers underneath you. If you want, you can just put some books underneath your hips and hang out there. That's fine too. Otherwise, grab your ankles, lift up, hold. That's 1. Kick the feet into the hands. Resist the hands back against your knees. 2. Hold the belly and lift your pelvic floor, but draw the tail up to the ceiling. 3. Push the shoulders down and lift your chest up to the wall behind you. 4. And 5, and lower down. 2 more. Whenever you're ready, go ahead. Inhale, lift up and hold. That's 1. Favor the inner edges of your feet. 2. Kick the feet into the hands. Resist the hands back and push your shoulders down. 3. Hold your pelvic floor. Step 1, step 2 with your button. That's 4. And 5. If you're lowering down, you're in Urdhva, try to stand your head. Squeeze your elbows in, hands out to the side a bit more. Then when you inhale, straighten your arms first, then your legs, and breathe. 1. Otherwise, you're still holding bridge. 2. Favoring the inner edges of your feet. Keep breathing. 3. Belly in, lift your pelvic floor. Lengthen your rib cage. 4. And 5. Okay, lowering down. Hug the legs into your chest. Rock side to side. Massaging your paraspinal muscles or make little circles on your lower back. Do whatever you need to do to release your lower back. Make sure that it's not stressing. And then we'll rock up to a seated position. And you can take a break there or Vinyasa. Inhale, pick up. Exhale, step or jump back and lower. Full inhales every time. It doesn't matter if you're off my count. And full exhales, downward dog. Gaze forward, bend the knees, coming forward into a seated position. We're going to take a forward bend to counter our back bends. I like to hug the legs in this version personally. Go ahead and hold. If you want to go ahead and grab your feet, you can do that too. Breathe. 1. Hug the legs to your chest. Relax your lower back. That's what we're releasing. Don't push. 2. We're here for 10 breaths. So give yourself time to relax. Keep sending the breath into your lower back. 3. Maybe you gently slide the legs back and you gently slide your ribcage forward. 4. 5. 6. Keep sounding your breath. Most important part. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Slowly work your way back up. And if you want, you could lie down on your backs, preparing for shoulder stand, or go ahead and take a vinyasa. Inhale, pick up. Exhale, jump back and lower. Moving with breath the whole time. Slow inhales into upward dog, taking the energy. Slow exhales, downward dog, just releasing any tension. And gaze forward, bend the knees, coming forward into a seated position, and lie down on your backs, preparing for shoulder stand. So if you're not taking shoulder stand, that's totally fine. Just lie down on your back and lift your legs up. So we want the blood to move away from the legs and pull towards the heart. That's the whole intention. Otherwise, go ahead, inhale, lift your legs up, hips up, hands on your lower back for support. Tuck the shoulders behind you. Keep your gaze up and breathe. 1. So try to lengthen your feet up to the ceiling and lengthen the tail up towards your feet. So you straighten out a bit. 2, and encourage the feet towards the elbows and the tail towards your face. 3, sound the breath through your throat. 4, encourage the elbows closer together behind your back. Keep breathing. 5. And 8, lower the legs down behind the head if you can for halasana. Maybe you release the fingers behind you onto the mat. Otherwise, keep them on your back. That's fine too. Breathe. 1, your feet don't have to come down. It's okay if you're in a pike position. 2, if your feet do come down, try to point your feet. 3, push to the back of the head. Gaze towards the wall behind you. 4, sound the breath through your throat, squishing out your lymph nodes. 5. 6, shoulders down, hips up, belly in. 7. And 8, bend your knees by the shoulders for Karnapidasana, ear squeeze. That's 1. Feet together, knees apart. 2, knees towards your shoulders more. 3, gaze towards the wall behind you. Breathe. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, work your way back up and towards a shoulder stand. From here, if you can, cross your shins. Maybe bring the hands up to the knees. Otherwise, if you can take full lotus, go ahead. Again, you can keep your hands at your lower back, or maybe bring the hands to the knees. Work your arms straight. Hold there. 1. Urdhva Padmasana. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. And 8. Knees towards the chest, wrap the arms around the legs. Totally fine if you're on your back. Hold there. 1. Hug the legs tight to your chest. 2. Breathe in the backside of your rib cage. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. And 8. Bring the hands to the mat, lowering your hips down. Take your time. If you're in lotus, keep your lotus. Otherwise, bring your legs straight down. Once the hips come down, you can bring your legs down. If your legs are straight, bring the hands underneath your hips. Lift your chest up, tuck the elbows underneath you, and drop your head back for Matsyasana. Otherwise, if you're here in Matsyasana, drop the head down, grab onto your feet. Hold there. 1. Lengthen your knees forward and down. 2. Press your legs down, arch your back. Breathe up in your heart. 3. Shoulders back. Hold your belly in. 4. 5. 6. 7. And 8. We're going to release the legs up, undo the lotus, bring the legs up to a 45-degree angle, arms come up parallel, hold there. 1. And everything is light, it's evaporating up. 2. Legs draw into the hip socket, so that's going to help you hinge them up. 3. Arms back in your shoulders and arching your back. 4. Breathe. 5. Contain your core. Step 1, step 2. 6. 7. And 8. Bend your knees, feet down, elbows down. Roll your head out safely. Okay, we'll hug the knees towards the chest. If you want to massage your lower back, you can go ahead, and then we'll rock up to a seated position. And if you want, you can take a vinyasa or take a break. Inhale, pick up. Exhale, step or jump back and lower down. Full inhales every time. Full exhales every time. Gaze forward, bend knees coming forward to a seated position. And we're going to prepare for headstand. And again, headstand is always, it's an option. Some days you might not even feel as balanced, and don't do them on that day. That's fine. You can just take the pose with your head down. And again, it's still just a reversal of blood flow. This time we're bringing some blood towards the brain. And release your fingers, squeeze your elbows in. Forearms are parallel. Drop your head down. Curl the back toes under and straighten your legs. And that's it. You can stay there. If you're ready to walk in, go ahead. If you're ready to lift up, go ahead. Hold there and breathe. And that's 1. Push your forearms down. Contain your ribcage. 2. Find your bandha. Step 1, step 2. Lifting that pelvic floor. 3. Lengthen the feet away from the hips. 4. Shoulders down, belly in, thighs up. 5. Forearms down. Contain your ribcage. Tail and feet up. 6. Breathe. Sound your breath. 7. 8. 9, and 10. Lowering down if you can into pike for 5. Otherwise, hold headstand. 1, long legs in pike. 2, super strong legs. 3, belly and thighs up. 4, and 5. Inhale your way back up for 1 breath. And exhale, lower the legs all the way back down. Roll forward onto your head for a second just to stretch out the back of your neck. And take a very comfortable child's pose. Hands beside you, head and shoulders roll forward. If this hurts your knees, go ahead and send a few books. Head and shoulders are rolling forward and heavy. Oh, this music sucks. Every time you inhale, open up the backs of the rib cage like it's a sail. And when you exhale, let that sail soften down your spine. Slowly work your way back up. Just step your hands forward, step your feet back, lower to Chaturanga. Slow inhales, upward dog. Gaze forward, bend the knees, coming forward to a seated position. If you can take full lotus, go ahead. Otherwise, cross your shins. Maybe catch the elbows behind your back and fold forward. If that's not comfortable, hands can stay in front, or stack your fists and rest your head on top of your fists. Hold there. 10 breaths. 1, head and shoulders still roll forward and heavy. 2, try to keep your hips down. 3, and then lengthen your rib cage forward. 4, sound the breath. That's the most important part, is your attention on the breath. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Slowly work your way back up. Take Chin Mudra. Index fingers to the thumbs, backs to the hands, the fronts of the knees, Padmasana, lotus pose. Hold here. 1, press your legs down to the floor. Hold your belly in, grow tall. 2, belly in, lifting your pelvic floor. Rib cage lengthens away from the hips. 3, shoulder blades go down the back and forward into the chest as if you were doing cactus. If you need to take a cactus for a second, go ahead. 4, dump all the attention now into your breath. Watch it and listen to it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lift the gaze, release the mudra. Prepare for Plithihi, which is a lift. So if you have blocks or books, go ahead and bring them beside your hips. Lean the weight forward. Lift your knees up. Inhale, lift your hips up. Hold there. 1, knees up to your chest. 2, lift your pelvic floor. 3, knees to your shoulders. 4, push the floor away like it's hot. 5, thighs to your stomach, knees to your chest. 6, lift up. 7, lift up again. Hold it. 8, breathe. 9, and 10, lowering down. Well done. And one last vinyasa. You can step your hands forward, step your feet back, and lower to Chaturanga. Full inhales every time. Doesn't matter if you're off my count. Take your time. You can even hold upward dog for a couple of breaths. Full exhales, downward dog. And gaze forward, coming into a comfortable seated position. If you want, you can bring in a block or a book as a pillow. It'll help you lengthen the back of your neck. Take the hands underneath your head. Lift your head up, draw the chin to the throat. Allow the head to rest on your book so that the back of the neck is relatively straight. If you want to take cactus, go ahead. Shoulder blades flat on the floor, then stretch out your arms. Lower your hips down. As you walk your feet out, try to lengthen the tail to the front of your mat. Hold there. And there is no count in Shavasana, thankfully. We're not counting it. Here you just completely surrender. Let your body sink into the floor. It's like your marionette whose strings have been cut and your body lies completely heavy, pressing into the floor. Your body should feel like a stone that's been plunged into the middle of a pond. Every time you exhale, your body sinks deeper into that pond, moving deeper and deeper. Bring the awareness back to your breath and start taking deeper breaths. Bringing the awareness back into your body. Start moving fingers and toes, rotate wrists and ankles. Slowly bring the legs back together, the arms up behind the head. On an inhale, come into a big stretch. The arms, legs, fingers, toes reach. And exhale, just let it go. Bending your knees, rolling onto your right side. Use the right arm like a pillow. Bring the left hand on the floor in front of your chest. Stay there for a couple of breaths. And then slowly work your way back up towards a seated position, and we'll close the class. Namaste. Thanks for joining me today. I hope that serves you. Just a couple of announcements. So first off, today's winner for the 50-minute consult is Lana Espoli. Yay, Lana, congratulations. If you've already tagged me before, please just keep hanging in there, and we'll get to a consult at some point. The consults are going to shift to once a week now instead of every day. And in about 2 weeks' time, I'm going to start to implement a fee for class. But the fee is only if you have an income. If you have no income, if you are a frontline worker, or if you are a yoga instructor, classes are still free. That's how it's going to be. Otherwise, if you are still making an income, that's your regular income, then I'll work out a pay suggestion or a fee suggestion, okay? Yay. Thanks, Teresa. Thanks, Ryan, for joining. If you guys have any questions, please send them in to me, and I'll be happy to address them at a later point. Anyhow, thanks for joining me today, guys. I wish you all the best. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on Thursday.